A very good evening to all associated with our 11th webinar. I, Ms. Vandana Basu, Librarian, Brainware University. Welcome to all to our webinar organized by Central Library, Brainware University and Brainware Group of Institutions. Today our topic is open access and its impact on library resources and services. Actually, we have used open access resources before, but the term open access is closely associated with us in this pandemic situation. And this topic is very relevant and important to us and also research scholars as well as library professionals. And today we have with us an eminent guest speaker, Dr. Ashis Biswas, Librarian, Victoria College, to discuss what kind of open access resources we will use, what kind of open access resources are free of most copyright and license restrictions, how to use for our research or publication purpose. So welcome Dr. Ashis Biswas. And also we have with us Brainware Group of Institutions for the session of Vote of Thanks. So now I request our registrar madam to deliver few words and welcome address to our speaker. Madam, please.
Yeah, thank you, Mrs. Vandana Basu. Brainware University was established in the year 2016 with a mission of changing the scenario of professional education in West Bengal. Mr. Falguni Mukhopadhyay, the founder of Brainware University, is a well-known face in the academia of Bengal. And it is a university with over 3,500 students plus, in fact, and more than 150 academic members offering specialized UG, PG, and diploma and also PhD programs in the discipline of, say, engineering, biotechnology, biosciences, management and commerce, law, pharmacy, allied health sciences, nursing. This year we have already started nursing, computational and applied sciences, communication, multimedia, media science, and English. And it's a variety of disciplines we're offering right now. And our aim has always been and remains to make quality education affordable for students coming from all strata of society, while helping them ease into successful careers of their choice. And in this crisis period, the education sector is facing a challenge and it needs to adapt and find solutions to keep students motivated and in the route to learning. So Brainware University had adopted this new normal teaching learning methodology, and it has already delivered proper services to all students since lockdown 1.0 through online mode. And to enrich our students, and also not only enriching, to motivate our students, all the departments, they are organizing different technical and motivational webinars. And our central library is also is part of them, and our central library had already organized 10th webinars in the last 3-4 months. So this is the 11th webinar they are organizing. And today we are grateful to Dr. Ashis Biswas for finding some time from his busy schedule and for his consent to speak on a very relevant topic. I'm sure students will be enlightened from this session. But before hand over the control of this session to Dr. Biswas, I want to say a brief profile of him. Dr. Ashis Biswas has obtained his BLis, MLis, MPhil and PhD from University of Calcutta. At present, he is the librarian in Victoria Institution, College, Kolkata. He is also associated with IGNOU as an academic counselor for 40 years. He has published a book on library management and book chapters, many research articles in peer-reviewed journals and conference proceedings. He has guided 11 IGNOU MLEs dissertations so far. Dr. Biswas is also honorary joint editor of College Library, a UGC care-listed journal, and he is life member of BLA, IASLIC, and Indian Science Congress Association. So I will request Dr. Ashish Biswas to take over the stage, and please, sir.
Thank you, madam, for your nice introductory lecture. First of all, before beginning my speech, I want to thank my wholehearted thanks to my to the organizer, especially Dr. Shankar Gangopadhyay, the Vice Chancellor of Brainware University, then Mrs. Mohua Pal, respected Registrar of Brainware University, then Dr. Shanghamitra Kundu, Principal of Brainware Group of Institutions, Mrs. Anandita Dash, Assistant Registrar of Brainware University, and Ms. Bandana Bushu, Librarian of Brainware University, and Sujan Bandhu Chakraborty, Assistant Librarian of Brainware Group of Institutions. And thanks to all other dignitaries of this university and this institutions who has provided me this opportunity to deliver a lecture on the topic that is the open access and its impact on library resources and services. As already mentioned by Ms. Bandana Bushu and respected Registrar Mrs. Mohua Pal, this topic I think very much relevant in this situation, because it's not possible for us to always, to subscribe the different scholarly database. So in this scenario, we have to search for the alternative routes. So what are the alternative routes to access the scholarly content? So open access publication is the best alternative in this regard. So there are so many resources, and that is most of them are scholarly contents. So those contents, if it is accessible to the students, scholars, and the faculty members, then the academic activities, the research work, and the course curriculum based studies will be very much beneficial from all the stakeholders who are related with the academic scenario. Just an interruption. Mr. Sujanmanu Chakraborty, my screen is visible. Hello. My screen is visible. Shujan. Hello.
Yes, sir. Is visible, sir. Visible.
The screen is visible, na? Full form.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So the topic is that open access and its impact on library resources and services. So the very term open access, even 2 decades ago, whenever someone uttered this word, that open access in terms of library, so very concept in our mind comes up that the library is open. That means user can directly go to the stack room area, or he or she can choose his or her required document, then issue from it. Another term which is the alternate, just the reverse term of open access, that is the closed access. That means users are not allowed to enter into the stack room area. He or she has to find out the catalog for his or her required document. Then the details will be placed in the circulation text. Then the books will be brought by the library staff. Then the books will be issued, and other documents also in the same process. But the concept of open access now has totally changed. Huge paradigm shift has occurred. Open access means the scholarly content which are available on the web, and that contents in most of the cases are freely available without any barrier. The barrier means here the copyright laws. So in terms of the copyright laws, there are certain pros and cons are obviously there, but basically they are barrier free. You can download, read, or you can reuse with certain terms and conditions. So these are the main factors of open access publications and availability of the scholarly content through the open access mode. Now, here I have also tried to focus how these open access contents are changing the scenario of the library collection or the resources, and obviously the services. So briefly, just let me allow to give a brief overview about the open access in a formal way. That is, open access is when publications are freely available online to all at no cost and with limited restrictions with regards reuse. The unrestricted distribution of research is especially important for authors as their work gets seen by more people than readers, as they can access and build on the most recent work in the field, and funders, as the work they fund has broader impact by being able to reach a wider audience. So all the stakeholders, mainly the three stakeholders, authors, readers, and funders, all of them are getting getting the benefits from the open access. Basically, there are two routes to open access. First one is the gold open access. What is that? Gold open access makes the final version of an article freely and permanently accessible for everyone immediately after publication. Copyright for the article is retained by the authors. This is very important. Copyright for the article is retained by the authors, and most of the permissions barriers are removed. So gold open access articles can be published either in fully open access journals where all the content is published in open access mode, or on hybrid journals. Look at the term hybrid journals. What is that? A subscription based journals that offers an open access option which authors can choose if they wish. That means it is subscription based models, but if any author wants his or her article should be available in the open access mode, so that provision is also available in that hybrid journals. For that, he or she may have to pay a little bit for the article processing charge. So it depends on the journal to journal. An overview of fully open access journals can be found in the directory of open access journals. You know, all of you know that this is a very good site, that whatever the open access journals are available, this site you can see here the directory of open access journals. So from here you can search according to various disciplines whatever the open access journals are available, which will provide you the full text journals. You can see here, you can search from this DOAJ format. The search option is there. You can, according to journal you can search, or according to article you can search. So this is a very, very popular forum, or you can say a portal, that is the directory or open access journals. Other things are also associated. Whenever you can find some journal, that means open access journals from the DOAJ. Later on I will discuss all these things in detail. So just you see here the viewpoints of the DOAJ directory, which provides you the names of the journals, which you will provide you the articles in open access.
There may be a technical problem from I mean, at the speaker's end. Maybe it's due to the network problem. So we are trying to sort it out. Please stay with us. We'll be coming back in a very short time. Thank you.
I think there are some network problem. You just wait, please.
Hello, Sujan. Now it is okay. I think the connection has lost.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You need to share the screen again. Share your screen, sir.
Okay. I'm sharing.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
From which slide I lost the connection?
The second one, sir.
From second one. Oh my
No,
God.
you show me the slide. I'm telling you. Yeah, from here.
There are two routes to open access.
Yes,
From
yes, sir.
here.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there are two routes to open access. One is the gold open access. Gold open access makes the final version of an article freely and permanently accessible for everyone immediately after publication. Copyright for the article is retained by the authors and most of the permissions barriers are removed. So gold open access articles can be published either in fully open access journals or hybrid journals. Look at the term hybrid journals, a subscription based journals that offers an open access option which authors can choose if they wish. Basically hybrid journals provides you the two options. One is the subscription based models. One is that within the subscription based model, if any author wants his or her article would be available in open access mode, that option is also available. So before the submission of the article, author has to come into an agreement that whether he wants to permit his or her article to be published in open access mode. So this is called the hybrid journal. So an overview of all these open access journals. For this, a good portal has been created that is directory and open access journal. So all these open access journals according to the disciplines are available through this portal that is called the directory or open access journals. You can search here according to the journal's name or article's name. So it provides a very good opportunity that whatever the journals are available which provides you the full text articles, you can search to the doers. So other aspects are also related which are very important in case of open access publishings. Later on I will discuss all those things. So just here overview of the doers you can see. So options are there to search the journals. Now benefits of gold open access. Here I have pointed out 4 or 5 points. That is the increased citation and usage. As articles are freely and permanently available online immediately upon publication, they have a broader distribution and increased visibility over subscription content. So research has shown that article published open access receive higher citations, downloads and views. This is very important, the citation, downloads and views. It has been noticed that the journal which are not available in the open access mode, So basically there are only the print versions or hard copy versions are available. So if you require that hard copy journal, so you have to subscribe from the publishers or the organizing body. So even in this situation, in this pandemic situation, that is quite difficult to collect all those hard copy journals. You are not going to the physical library, or it is not also possible to acquire the journal from the publisher. But if it is available online freely, the full text, so you can easily download and read, and you can reuse for your academic purpose. So obviously the citation downloads and views will be increased. So download figures are also sustained over a longer period in article published in open access mode than those with restricted access. Now the easy compliance with institutional and funder mandates. So content published under a Creative Commons license, later on I will discuss a little bit of what is Creative Commons license. So can be achieved or archived anywhere and made immediately available on publication, allowing authors to easily comply with funder requirements. Then the retention of copyright by authors. I have already mentioned in case of gold open access, one of the most important thing is that copyright is retained by the authors. Now, faster impact. So as work is available to all, as soon as it is published, research that builds on the paper can be carried out and published quicker. So this is especially important in fast moving or time sensitive fields and topics. Then the greater public engagement, as those without institutional subscription can access latest research because it is available in the World Wide Web. So especially valuable when content affects the general public. Whenever it will be called the effective, whenever it is the most of the public are getting the benefit of anything, that time that product or that content will be effective for the general mass. Then I have discussed the gold open access. There's another route, that is the green open access. What is green open access? It is also referred to as self-archiving. The self-archiving matter is very much essential part in gold open access. It is the practice of placing a version of an author's manuscript into a repository. All of you know repository, that is a institutional repository, basically we call it. So making it freely accessible for everyone. The version that can be deposited into a repository is dependent on the funder or publishers. Unlike gold open access, the copyright for these articles usually sits with the publisher. As I have mentioned, in case of gold open access, copyright is retained with the author, but in case of green open access, the copyright for those articles usually sits with the publisher or the society affiliated with the title, and there are restrictions as to how the work can be reused. So there are individual self-archiving policies by journals or publisher that determine the terms and conditions. For example, which article version, that means preprint or postprints, may be used, and when the article can be made openly accessible in the repository. Basically, it is called the embargo period. That means after the publication, after what time the author can self-archiving in his or her own institutional repository. So that period is called the embargo period. A list of publisher self-archiving policies can be found on the Sherpa Romeo database. Again, this is a very good database which will guide in case of archiving procedure. So Sherpa Romeo projects, under this Sherpa Romeo project, you have to go to Sherpa services. Whenever you are going to the Sherpa services, under these Sherpa services, one part is there that is called the Sherpa Romeo. Sherpa Romeo gives a summary of publisher open access archiving conditions for individual journals. So what are the terms and conditions whenever you have published certain article in a certain journals, then you want to archive your article in your own institutional repository. So certain terms and conditions are there. So you have to deal with that terms and condition with the journals. So they will provide you all kinds of options. So what are the options? You may be confused. So Sherpa Romeo will guide you in this respect. It's a very good option. So suppose you have search any journals, then you will find, suppose I am writing here electrical engineering. So one journal is there, electrical engineering. So they are giving you the option that accepted version, authors accepted version, whatever the accepted version, they will allow you to in the institution repository. So all kinds of options are there. So you have to go through that options, and then you will finally submit your article. That means your own article in your own institution repository. So before the submission, you have to go through all the terms and conditions in connection with the particular journal. So you have to abide by the rules and regulation before your submission, so that later on you should not face any copyright law infringement. So this is the Sherpa Romeo database, which is a very good option for the self-archiving, which will guide you. Then the next one, which sometimes create a little bit controversy or some, some misconception about that, that is the article processing charges. So what is that? Publishing is not without costs. Whatever the publishing are happening throughout the journals, a lot of money needs to be invested to get in a hard copy or in open access modes. So who will provide that costs behind this publication? Subscription journals recoup these costs of publication by charging a fee to access the content. As gold open access content is freely available, they cost us defrayed, that means access through article processing charges. So APCs are levied after article acceptance prior to publication and vary depending on the respective publisher, journal, and discipline. There are also journals whose processing and publication costs are covered by other sources, for example, a sponsoring party like a society, and so do not charge any APC. So what does an APC cover? But for which purpose APC is charged? That means article processing charge. Editorial work, peer review, administrative support, commissioning content, journal development, then technical infrastructure and innovation, development, maintenance and operation of online journal system and websites, then production of articles, formatting and markup of articles and inclusion in indexing services, then marketing of journal and content, making sure readers and authors know about the work published in the title, then the customer service, responding to authors and readers. So who will be the responsible for paying the APC? Although the authors are responsible for making or arranging payment of the APC in most cases, they can rely on their institution and funders for financial support. So the bodies can cover APCs in a variety of ways, for example, by establishing an open access fund, making it part of their greater funding, or by paying the fees as part of a membership model. So options are there. Most of the cases author need to pay the APC charges, but good institution, research institutions or academic institutions sometimes help the authors, that means their own faculties or scholars, to give or help them by providing the APCs, that is the article processes charges. Then the copyright and license, which is very much essential even with the open access mode. Somebody think that okay, all these things are freely available in the full text format in the web, so perhaps there is no copyright barriers. No, but the concept is totally wrong. There are also some copyright issues are there, and Creative Commons license, one important part, that is the Creative Commons license is very much associated with that copyright law. Later on I'll come to the Creative Commons part. So first of all, let me say a few things about the copyright and license which are associated with the open access publishing. Generally with gold open access, the author retains copyright. However, it is wise to check the individual policy of the publisher. Sometimes publisher to publish a little bit terms and conditions are varied. So when articles are published in subscription titles, in most cases the copyright is transferred to the publisher or society who publishes the title. All the authors retain the right to place a version of the manuscript in a repository after an embargo period. I have already mentioned what is an embargo period. So again, it would be better to check publisher's website for specific policies regarding green open access. That means green open access will allow you to archive your own article in your own institutional repository, but you should not submit outrightly in your own way. Before submission your article into your own institutional repository, again you should check whatever the terms and conditions are associated with the particular publisher or the organizer who has published your article in their journal. Now, the very important thing, that is the Creative Commons license. It's a very flexible law which will provide you a lot of benefits, but there should be a clear-cut policy so that later on you should not face any problem regarding the copyright laws. What is Creative Commons? It is providing free and easy to use copyright license, giving the public the right to share, use, and even build upon an author's creative work. The non-profit organization Creative Commons also protects the people who use an author's work, so they don't have to worry about copyright infringement as long as they abide by the specified conditions. So licensing open access articles under a Creative Commons license has evolved as the standards for open access publishing. So you can see here that open access publication, in case of open access publication, Creative Commons license is a very essential part. So one of the most liberal Creative Commons license for publishing scientific articles is the Creative Commons Attribution license, as it allows the public to adopt and share an author's work even for commercial use as long as the author is properly cited. Yes, author has to cite, then he or she will be in a proper condition to use the article in an open access mode. Several other licenses exist, and one should check with the publisher what licenses and the conditions are there. Let me check off in a quick glance what is Creative Commons Attribution. So this is the site. It's a very good site. Here it provides you all the options before submission of your article in open access mode or in institutional repository, how you will apply for the Creative Commons license for sharing, adapting your articles in open access mode. So you have to go through this site and you have to follow the steps and the procedure, and you have to apply for the Creative Commons license. Whenever you will be allowed or permitted through the Creative Commons license, so whatever the terms and conditions the journal is providing, you will be permitted to do that, and obviously your article will be available in open access mode without any copyright infringement. The next thing is the mandates and funding. As I have already mentioned, in case of article processing charge, sometimes the funding agency should come forward to help you to publish your articles or help you to make your scholarly content available in the open access mode. So institution, funders, and societies and organizations all over the world have adopted open access mandates. So encouraging or even obligating their affiliated authors to make their research and data freely available. Some open access mandates focused on either the green or gold model. So others give their authors the option to choose between the two authors. So gold or green, whatever the thing you have to choose. So ROAR-MAF, the Registry of Open Access Repositories Mandatory Archiving Policies, it is also a good portal which lists open access mandates and policies of funders and research institutions in a searchable database. So this portal will allow you to give a very good overview that which institutions and the funding organizations they have that scope or option to provide you the fund for your scholarly contents to make it available in the open access mode. So to support the benefits on open access, just to let me allow to give a quick view of the Registry of Open Access Repositories mandatory. So this is the site of Registry of Open Access Repository Mandate and Policies. So here I'm showing you the one graph. You see here I have showing you the 2005 to 2020. You can see in 2005 uh, all over the world 78 research organizations were there. Among them, yes, among them 10 research organizations are ready to fund the scholarly articles or contents for making it available in the open access mode. So from then, let me check in the middle way, that is 2012. Suppose in 2012, a huge increasement in the research organization 306, and among them 306, you can see here the 42 organizations are ready to funding in the year 2012. So again, let me check in the 2020, a huge jump in a research organization, that is 834, and among them 86. So the color code, the blue color code, symbolizing the organizations who are ready to fund, that has not been so much increase. But in case of research organization, there is a quite jump from from 78 to it is 834, but funding organization at that time 10, but in 2020 it is 86. Just 80 research organization has been increased in 15 years. So in terms of funding organization, the data is not so positive, but okay, it has been increased a lot. But if it is compared with the research organization and research organization which is funding, then some disparity can be observed. Anyway, so from this registry you can have some idea that which organization, which research organizations have that option for the funding your research work, to make your research work or your scholarly content available in the open access mode. Now, so there are also membership programs that institution can join to financially support their affiliated research institutions. So member institutions have to first of all register themselves in this registry portal to make their activities available to the scholars. Now, let me quickly compare about between the open access versus subscription journals. So whatever the things we so far I have covered in case of open access mode, their different mode, their funding agencies, their availability, advantages and pros and cons, etc., etc. So what are the basic difference between the open access and subscription journals? So are there any difference? The short answer is no. Basic difference, there is no basic difference. Why I am telling this? Apart from the business model, open access journals are subject to the same peer review, production and publishing standards that apply for journals published under the subscription based model. So there is no question about the quality and reliability of the work. Open access journals are tracked for impact factor just as subscription based journals, and are deposited into bibliographical databases and any full text repositories without any embargo period. So basically it is also peer reviewed. Subscription journals is also peer reviewed. It have also the impact factor. Then the subscription journals based journals are also have impact factor. Only their availability is the basic difference. So author can also deposit the final version of their open access article in any institutional repository as per the green open access mode, as I have already mentioned. So immediately upon publication, open access journals can also be members of Committee on Publication Ethics and other standards and affiliations, just like subscription titles. Why the open access journal should be member all these committees? Even before that I have mentioned the ROAR, etc., etc. Another committee I am mentioning, that is the COPE, because to make it authentic, that to clear any doubt. So whenever the open access journals are getting or taking the membership of all those committees, that means before taking their membership, they have to go through certain norms and conditions. Then only they will be allowed to get the membership. So whenever they are getting the membership, obviously the journals is authentic, quality peer reviewed options are there. then only that open access journals will be allowed to take the membership of all those committees. So whatever the journals you are getting from DOAS, then COPE, then rower maps, so all these journals are authentic. So there is no scope of doubt, or there is no confusion regarding the quality and the authenticity, or the whether it is peer reviewed or not. So there is no scope of doubt. Then avoiding predatory journals. So that the term is very popular in case of scholarly communication world. So in recent years, there has been an increase in the number of predatory journals. These are the publications that do not afford the standards of peer review that are usually expected of reputable journals. So before authors submit to a journal, it is recommended that authors take some time to assess if it can be trusted. So there is another option is there. How the author can judge that whether it is a predatory journals or peer reviewed journal. So another good option is that think, check and submit. It's a portal where author or the scholars can submit a particular journal's name, then check it whether it is peer reviewed or not. If it is not properly peer reviewed or not the scholarly journals, if it is a predatory journal, so this site will help you to detect that. So whenever the detection is complete, if it is peer reviewed authentic journals, then you can submit your article for the publication in that journal. So you are getting the scope of judging whether it is predatory or peer reviewed from this think, check and submit portal. So this is also a very important portal for judging the journal, whether it is predatory or the peer reviewed. So you have the different discipline way you can search here. So this is also a very good option for the scholars to judge their journal option before the submission of their article. So it's a quickly there is some checklists that author should check before the submissions of their articles for the their scholarly journals for increasing the scholarly domain. That have you come across the title in your reading of the subject? Or so do your colleagues know the title and have submitted there? Whenever any particular journals will be popular, or in the at least that journal's name should be known by any one or two or three of your friends. But if you find that nobody is aware about these journals, at that time you have some doubt and you can go to the think, check and submit portal for checking it. So again, he or she can easily see who published the title and can contact them via mail and telephone. Whether you can have that option to contact the editorial boards through email and telephone, or all those things are fake. So the journal is indexed in databases that you regularly use to find papers. This is very important. Whether that particular journal is available in the Scopus or the Sci-Fi, whatever the popular indexing systems all over the world is available, you can check from also that indexing sources. Then journals is a member of standard and affiliations body or not. They make the peer review policy of the journal clear. Any charges or costs are clearly displayed on the journal site. So one catch line it can be drawn from all these discussions, that not all predatory titles are open access and not all open access titles are predatory, because some misconceptions are there that it means that, oh okay, that journals are predatory, that means it is open access, or all those journals articles available in the open access week, that it may happen that it is predatory. But not concept is not that open access means that it is predatory, because I have already mentioned that open access contains available through particular journal articles. You can check it from different portals already I have mentioned. So you can easily avoid publishing in an untrustworthy title by taking a few minutes to investigate the journal before submitting. So far the discussions regarding the open access publication, I have slanted towards the journal articles, but it's not that open access publications and open access contents are mean that only the journal articles. There are other contents are also there, So the second thing is that the ebook available in the open access mode, the full text ebooks. So open access for books did not happen until later, because it's started a little bit late. First started with the journal articles. So this is because there is often still a need for a printed copy of a book alongside the online version, and the costs of the printed copy need to be recouped. It is not easy to find a cost covering business model for open access books. A pioneering project relating to open access for books was the European Open Access Publishing Network project. The result was the OAPN Foundation, an international initiative to further expand open access for books. It currently offers two services. One is the DOAB. In case of journal, you have noticed that is DOAZ, D-O-A-Z. Now it is DOAB, Directory on Open Access Book. So it is a database that refers readers to open access books. So you can search this directory for whatever the open access mode book is available, full text book. So advanced search is all option is there. So you can search through the fields, title, ISBN, abstract, publishers. So different search options are there. So according to your need, if you know the title, so you can put here the title, or you the subject or the author, whether that book is available in open access mode, the full text availability options you will come to know from this portal. So this is a very good portal for book which are available in the open access mode. Now another thing is that open access publishing in European networks. So Open Library, OAPN Library is a repository of 3,500 full text books. Publisher can choose to place their open access books in the OAPN library. So like the DOAB, OAPN library is also another portal which will guide you or provide you the whatever the open access mode, the full text books are available from different disciplines. So you can open this site and you can again search. Okay, so these are the second good option for finding the books in the open access mode. So more open access publications can be found in OpenAir, OSTR. So these are another good options for searching the full text open access books. So in addition to open access for publications, open data will be a key instrument. As I have mentioned that journals, articles is the most popular or commonly searchable content in open access mode, then the books. But other things are also associated either open access publishing or open access content. So all these things will be connected with that very term, that is the open data. What is open data? It means open science contains open access to academic publications, research data, learning tools, software, etc. In the case of research data, we speak about open data. Open data offers many benefits to scholarship. It increases the visibility of research results. It is citable thanks to digital object identifiers. And it encourages the reuse of your data for new research questions and for verification purposes. So all these advantages are very much associated with the open data, that is the visibility, citations, and obviously a unique digital object identifier should be tagged with that open data to make it more authentic. So on February 19, 2017, the report National Plan Open Science was presented in The Hague. Open, so for the open data, so one of the four central themes in this plan is making the optimal reuse of research data. It also satisfies the Ranganathan's first laws, that books are for use. Now it has been changed that information are for use. So whatever the benefit of the research work, if it is data is not available and if it is not implemented, that there is no implementation of the research work. And their research work will only be implemented whenever the data, whatever the research results are available or come out of the research work will be available to the general masses, then only it will be effective. So open data will help you to do that. So lot of initiatives are there in case of making the open data to make it available freely to the general masses and basically to the scholars, students, academicians and faculties. In this open data, you know, the government initiatives nowadays are playing a very crucial role, because lot of governments are creating their own data, because you know the government is the one of the prominent generator of the information, because they are taking the several policies, projects, lot of research work they are funding. So all kinds of data, if they want to accumulate within a single window, so open data will help them to do that. You can see here the different databases are interlinked with each other, so you can search from one database to another database. And the beauty of this open data is that if you want to search, you are searching a particular information, then you have found such a term, so you don't know anything details about that term, so you click on that term, so you will go to the another website, from then you will get the total viewpoint of that term. So from that database you can go another database. So from that concept, the term has been evolved, that is the linked data. What is linked data? One of the most important forms of open data is open government data, which is a form of open data created by ruling government institutions. So open government data's importance is born from it being a part of citizens' everyday lives, down to the most routine mundane tasks that are seemingly far removed from the government. So governments are why the government is the most prominent information generator, because they are taking into consideration all the aspects of their citizens, how to benefit, how to improve their life. To do that, they are taking lot of initiatives, lot of policies and projects. So from all those activities, lot of informations are getting generated. So one particular information is getting generated in 2020. If anyone wants that information after 5 years, so where that information will be available? So government is accumulating all that information in a particular portal, from which they will allow their citizens or throughout the global, if any wants to access that information will be available through the open data or the linked data. So linked data is structured data which is interlinked with other data, so it becomes more useful through semantic queries. It builds upon standard web technologies such as HTTP, resource description framework, uniform resource identifiers. All these things are very much associated with the linked data, which are these web technologies are helping to link one database to another database. I'm showing you a graphical picture of linked data. Here you can see that in the middle of that term, that is Wikipedia. All of us, I think, have searched the Wikipedia. So from Wikipedia, you can go from one database to another database. How? Because you have noticed one term which is colored and underlined. So if you click on that term, then another website will open where you can get in details about that term. So all these circles are different databases of different colors, and the gray lines, through the gray lines, all those databases are interconnected. So these are the interlinked or linked data. Wikipedia is the best example of the linked data. So now the open data initiatives of government of India. So I have mentioned the government can take a leading role in case of open data and linked data through their initiatives. In case of India, Indian government has created a very good portal on the basis of philosophy of open data and linked data. So whatever the policies of Indian government, you can see from this website, that is data.gov.in. So a lot of informations about the government initiatives, projects, policies, whatever the beneficial projects they are providing. You can search this window. Through this single window, you will get all those initiatives of Government of India through this portal. So it is a very good portal that Government of India has created, and the creation of this portal basically based on this philosophy of open data and linked data. Now, other open data, that is that open education and educational resources. So there are different other educational resources which are also fall under the category of open access publishing. That's the web lectures. In case of academic institutions, lot of lectures are happening, and this is very much pertinent in this condition, in this pandemic periods when the classroom oriented teachings are not possible. So a lot of online classes, online counseling, teaching, learning procedures are going on. So the teachers are interacting through their students through the web versions, and their lectures, they are giving the lectures in the real time. So if any students for any problem, for the connectivity problem or etc cannot participate in that real time web lecture, so provision should be there to access that web lectures later on. How it is possible? Whenever it will be recorded, and the recorded will be uploaded in a particular site, so that users, students, or the other interested one can access that. Then the open content. Open content refers to creative works such as text, images, sound, or video that are published under an open access license. Again, the Creative Commons, which explicitly permits copying, adapting, and distribution. Then the open educational resources. This term has become very popular in this pandemic period, which is nothing but free lessons materials that are freely available for use and or reuse. The material may be copied, adapted, and distributed under certain conditions by way of open license such as Creative Commons. So you can see here that Creative Commons license are very important. All these things are very much associated with Creative Commons, and it is not a hurdle, but it's just a flexible platform which will provide you a just clear way to publish your whatever the open access content in the web versions. So now the open courseware. Open courseware involves a free complete course comprising open lesson materials which is freely available for use or reuse. The material may be copied, adapted, and redistributed under certain conditions by way of again then CC. With open courseware, the emphasis is the lesson material. Students do not receive any supervision, or there is no opportunity to grade credits. This thing is very much into. In open courses, you can access all those open courses through this. You can complete your course curriculum based studies, but most of the cases you will cannot claim any credit for that. It is just helping to complete your course curriculum based studies, but whenever completing the open coursework, most of the cases you cannot claim the credit. Now, electronic thesis and dissertations. This is also a very important part in case of scholarly communications and the research works. You know that. So many universities now have electronic thesis and dissertation programs, and this category provides a large free source of dissertation material from many excellent universities. So there is an effort to pull together of all the disparate ETD initiatives in the NTLTD, that is Network Digital Library of Thesis and Dissertations. This is again a very good portal where a lot of good research works have been accumulated, and you can access the full text versions of dissertations and thesis work. Yeah, this is the site, Network Digital Library of Thesis and Dissertation. So opening this site, according to your discipline, lot of search option you can find in the left side. So you can check and you can find according to your own interest. The students also can find these things who are aspiring for the research works. So even the faculty members or the research scholars can go through before starting their research work, because this is called the literature review. Whatever the research works have already been done, you have to get a viewpoint about that to find out the research graph. So unless and until you are not finding the research graph, your work may be duplicated, then you will fall under the misconduct of research integrity or the research ethics. So before starting your research work or before selecting your research topic, you have to find out whatever the research works have already been done in your work. So this is a very good portal which will give you the lot of options or views that whatever the thesis and dissertations have already been done. Then the next thing, that is the MOOC. This is also a very popularized term in the recent years. That is the massive open online course, and our MHRD, that is Ministry of Human Resource Development India, is also very much motivating to create the MOOC and to participate in MOOC, because this is an online course for an unlimited number of participants, because this is also initiative of Government of India to increase the gross enrollment ratio, because number of participants, unlimited number of participants can take part in this MOOC courses. What is MOOC courses? Is a freely accessible and free of charge unless participants want a verified certificate. The option is there after completing the MOOC course, if you want a verified certificate, so some minimum charges may be levied from the participant. Anyway, so MOOCs give students access to lesson materials as well as providing a complete course experience. Students are not awarded any formal credits. Again here you cannot claim any formal credit, but for your course material, for your own enrichment of knowledge, you can go through these MOOC courses and you will get obviously the certificate. But in case of credit, certain disadvantages are there. Rather to say the disadvantage, it can be said that option is not there to earn the credits like the regular courses. I think within few years that portions again will be evaluated by the Ministry of Human Resource Development and the stakeholders like the UGC and PTEL, IGNU, whatever the stakeholders are associated with MHRD for the MOOC courses. Now here that is I have shown you some sources of educational resources, because from the point of view of librarian, this is also very much important, because whatever the things have so far discussed about the open access mode, various pros and cons, etc., but the basic question is that where from I get all those open educational resources? I know that I can search to Google Scholars and some of the websites I have also shown, but a new researcher or the students may not know all these things at the first hand. So some ready-made sources should be available to them, and the librarian should take the initiative to provide all those resources to their students or faculties or the scholars. So here I have just mentioned 15 resources of different disciplines in different modes. It's not limited here. There are a lot of open resources are also available. So some popular and very good open resource sites sources I have mentioned here, that is College Open Text, MIT Open Course Online Textbooks, Open Learning Initiatives, Open Text, etc. Regarding the time constraint, I am not opening all those websites. You can search in your own way if you want to access the benefits of all those open sources. So just a few things I have practically taking the help to provide the students of my own institutions, because in the previous slide, whatever the sources I have mentioned, there is a global perspective. But in case of some local needs, suppose the Bengali literature books, in your college library, you have to provide some of the Bengali library book. Your physical library is not being possible to access by your students and faculties. So online, you have to provide some full text e-books of the Bengali literature. So all those sources will not provide you the Bengali literature books. So two way the full text may be available in that particular site, that is the digitize.digital. It's a good website, that is the www.ebookmiller.co.in. This website will provide you some of the Bengali literature books or even the other subjects that like the political science, philosophy in the Bengali versions. Then the Sanskrit. it's, it's a very unique and old and traditional languages. Some of the colleges have that in undergraduate honors and past subjects. So all those sites will not provide the books on Sanskrit. Okay, National Digital Library, the head office in IIT Kharagpur, they have some options. I have checked that full text Sanskrit books in digitized or digital versions are available. But another site I have found, that is the dli.sanskritdictionary.com. If you find this website, you will get a lot of related books with that undergraduation and post graduation. You just put your title here, the topic or the title of that book, and you will get a lot of Sanskrit, full text Sanskrit books from this site. Then another site I should mention, that is the Urdu. Very few college libraries have Urdu honors in their undergraduation level, and universities have also a post graduation level. So www.urdoucouncil.nic.in PDF book, this site will provide you the lot of books on Urdu in different that is poetry, drama, and other literary aspects. So you can search this. And another good site which I have profusely used to provide the online services, that online library service to my own institutions users, that is www.pdfdrive.com. This is really a very good website where you can search in English versions books. Full text books are available on different disciplines, from literature to science to management to social science to humanities. Even I have found that the books as published in 2018 and 19, that some books are also available in the PDF format, in the ebook format. So you can go through that site and you can download yourselves. Then another site, basically this site provide you that digitized versions, that is the archive.org details internet archive Zook. This is also a very good site for different disciplines. And our own that is the National Digital Library, head office in Kharagpur, they have trying utmost to provide as far as possible to accumulate the full text version in digitized or digital format. But whenever you will check that, you will see that sometimes the metadata are available and sometimes that you are getting the full text version, because for the 3 or 4 years this has been created, and they are trying utmost to create a very good site for providing the e-content. So it is not only providing the only the e-books, but the other e-contents, the journals, other scholarly contents you can also access from this National Digital Libraries portal. Then developing and sharing open educational resources. I have mentioned what is open access, their pros and cons, some of the sources. Then again, you should have to take some responsibilities to develop and sharing open educational resources. It's not that only you will access and only will take that advantage. You have to produce something and you have to share something. You have to generate something. So as well as using existing open education resources, institution can decide to develop these materials themselves and share to them online. What are the advantages of that? An institution can boost its profile by making teaching material openly available. Whenever I am finding the certain open course materials from MIT universities, so whenever I am getting from the MIT University's website, obviously their promotion and branding is increasing. It's very simple. Then open education helps prospective students choose the right program. Open lesson materials improve student success rates. Then open education resources make it possible to determine the teaching on offer and to tailor it for students. Making lessons material publicly available has been shown to boost their quality. Open education improves educational innovation. So many advantages are there. Again, here I should also mention that legal issues are important when it comes to developing and sharing open educational resources. For lesson materials to be shared, they need to be published under an open license. So these are the factors which are very much associated with the open educational content. So then best practices for the development of open education, because I have mentioned that you should not always take the advantage of open education materials or open resources. You have to generate something of your own. Your institution should take care about that. But the question remains that how I will do that. Whatever the policies, procedures, terms and conditions related with that, how I can get all those things. So this is a good platform, that is Open Education Consortium. So your institution may take part in this Open Education Consortium. Whenever your institution will be registered in this Open Education Consortium, now the global network for Open Education Consortium, the site has been changed, that is oneglobal.org. Through the new website, that is Open Educational Global, this is the new site of the Open Educational Resources. So institution have to take the membership. Whenever the institution will take the membership, here your institution will get all kinds of guidance, pedagogy, etc., etc., that how you will generate your open education resources and how you will upload, taking into consideration all the pros and cons, common creative, common license, etc., etc. So the guidance will be provided through this portal. So this is a very good portal in terms of guidance, providing the creation or generation of open educational resources. The next thing is that open access publishers. Some of the open access publishers, you know, that Copernicus, PLOS, Biomed, Frontiers, MDPI, even the popular publishers who are also providing the subscription based models, but they are also started the open access mode, like Springer, Elsevier, Wiley Taylor, Francis, Nature Publishers, Sage, Oxford University Press. These publishers are not solely open access publishers. They have their subscription based models are also, but along with the subscription based models, they have also started that open access mode publishing. Then the quality of open access. This is a very important thing. Already I have mentioned some of the points, because it indicates that your confusion and your panicky regarding the trustworthiness of the mode, that is journals, that book, whether it is totally peer reviewed or not. Sometimes it may happen whenever a particular open access journal, suppose I'm just taking one example, that is open access journal just started its publication, and it has happened 1 or 2 years. So within 1 year, 2 year, it is not possible to gain the impact factor, or it may not, there may not be any impact factor associated with the journal, because it has just started. So at the initial stage, anyone wants to publish his or her article in that particular open access journal, so confusion may arise. Oh, these journals don't have any open impact factor, so maybe this journals is not peer reviewed, or not so much qualified journal, so I will not publish my articles. But they should not think about that, because of impact factor, to gain the impact factor, certain time is taken. But how their confusion should be avoided? He or she can check the DOAS, whether that journal is registered in the DOAS format or not. Even very recently, DOAS has created a very good option to create to just to clear this type of confusion. They are providing a DOAS seal. Those journals are qualitative, peer reviewed, they are providing a seal. As soon as they are that particular journal is getting that seal, so you can obviously know or judge that this journal is peer reviewed, so there should not be any controversy or any confusion. And another one interesting thing is that it has been found that the open access journals, initially they are not getting the impact factor, but after a few years later, their impact factor is increasing year after year. Why? Because their content is available freely on the web. As soon as the content is freely over the web, you are getting the visibility, your citation, your download is increasing, and you know that citation is very much associated with the impact factor. As much as you are getting the citation, your impact factor will be increased. So this is the factor with the quality of the open access. But some of the disadvantages are there. how you can overcome those disadvantages, I will say. Now first tell me, say something about the disadvantage. That is the impact factor. As I have already mentioned at the very beginning, there may not be any impact factor. And the second thing is that fully open access journal varies enormously across the different disciplines. It's not that all the disciplines have all kinds of facilities of open access. Some disciplines, basically in the science sector, they have created so far the good open access journals. That social science and humanities, they are also getting closer to the science community. Anyway, then the additional administration. Whenever you are publishing your journals in any subscription-based journals, you don't have to bother. You are just submitting your journal, then other things will be taken into consideration by the publisher or the organization. But whenever you are trying to publish your journal article in a open access model, so you have to go through various terms and conditions, then creative commons, that things I have discussed already. So you have to take an extra effort in from your own part. So that is the additional administration. Then the author processing charges I have already mentioned. So researcher can be spammed by open access publishers of dubious quality. Some kind of confusion may arise, but I have already mentioned that how you will overcome all those confusions, checking different sites, do as think, check and submit, then row map, etc., etc. And the last thing is that copyright thing you have to take into consideration. That is the Creative Commons. You have to understand, you have to go through, and you have to apply for the Creative Commons license, taking into consideration the other terms and conditions of the particular publisher. So whatever the disadvantages I have here mentioned, you have to just think, check and submit, then only you can overcome all those little bit disadvantages which are associated with the open access mode. So it is nothing barrier for any author. Just you have to take some extra effort from your own part. Then I'm coming directly to the library part. In this open access publishing model, how the library can take their role effectively. So all of us know that if I search a Google or Google Scholar, I can take all kinds of things from my own part. But again, I'm telling you that whenever you are getting lot of things, whenever a research scholar, whenever, let us say, young research scholar, the students are getting all kinds of sources, they may be scattered, they may be confused that which thing they will choose, how they will proceed, and where they will get their more authentic data. In this regard, the librarian should take a leading role. They can assimilate all those open access resources, whatever the things I have mentioned, different sources, etc., etc., under a single portal, and they can provide a link there in the library website. Whenever the students or the users will click on that open access material link, they will get all those researches or the resources. It can be arranged according to the format or according to the categories or according to the disciplines to make it more easier. So librarian should create a portal like that. Then the second thing that is the most important, that is the institutional repository. Whenever I have discussed that green open access mode, I have mentioned that self-archiving is possible through the green access mode, and that archiving should be done in your own institutional repository. So whenever you are building your institutional repository, suppose one open source software is there, that is the disk space. So using the disk space, whenever you are building your repository, some certain terms and conditions, copyright and common Creative Commons license should be taken into consideration, and how they will submit, what type of thing you will consider for your institutional repository. So a policy should be framed out in consultation with your patron. Here also librarian should also take a leading role. And obviously your own generated, that means your own faculties content, scholarly content should be available in your institutional repositories. So your students, your faculty members, your research scholar don't have to bother to get all those resources which have generated by your own faculties or research scholars from other sources. So it should be a very beneficial for your own institutions. Even you can also allow other parties, that means beyond your institution, to access your material whichever you have uploaded in your institutional repositories. One format is that is called the OAI PMH, Open Archive Initiative or Protocol for Metadata Harvesting. Through this method, you can make it available in the global through web. Then the second thing I have discussed is that is institutional repository. Then the third one, that is the web OPAC to enhanced OPAC. Whenever we are using, I think most of us nowadays we have started our library automation through integrated library software management procedure. In this regard, Koha is a very good or popular open source software. So whenever we are using software like this Koha, we have the OPAC function. Whenever that OPAC, that is online public access catalog, whenever you can search through web from your home, from anywhere, anytime, you can search your institutional OPAC, that is called the web OPAC. That means your OPAC is available in the web version. So that web OPAC, what basically it deals with, it provides you the bibliographical detail that whatever the resources available in your particular library. So you can take a glimpse that whatever the resources are available in your library. But what will happen in this pandemic period? You are getting the viewpoint that okay, these documents are available in one library. But to access that material, you have to either go to the library or someone will fetch that document for you in your home. So all these things are in a problematic situation. So this bibliographical data, whichever you are collecting through the web OPAC, is not helping you anyway. So from that, if the OPAC is transferred to enhanced OPAC, what is enhanced OPAC? To promote the open access initiatives, OPAC has to be changed from a simple search entity to a content entity. That means not only you are getting the bibliographical details through OPAC, whenever you are getting some content, that time it should be regarded as the content entity or enhanced OPAC. What is that? Whenever you are searching Google, you don't care about what are the data sets, what are the programming languages, what are the programming environment they are using. You are just getting the data. That is the ultimate motto of you. So whatever the behind the program logic, etc., you are not bothered about that. You just want data. You are searching the Google through certain search term and you are getting the content. The same thing whenever you are basically doing the Google servicing. Similarly, same thing may also be occurred through library OPAC. Whenever you are integrating different kind of open contents on the fly integration of different kind of associated and user generated data. How these are possible? This possible one very common method by integrating Google custom search engine. By creating an exclusive custom search engine for different subject areas. For example, suppose we want to index only journal available on chemistry. So we can prepare a Google custom search engine on chemical journals available in the web freely. Then that particular exclusive index we can integrate with our web OPAC through a simple application programming that is called the API. Now, what is Google custom search engines? Let me give you a quick overview. Bandana madam, is it okay? How much time maximum I can take? Hello, madam.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Can I take
You
more
can go
10
ahead.
minutes?
Okay.
Oh,
Yes, no problem. No problem.
Thank you. So this is the site, the Google custom search engine. So I have told you that suppose some links of open resources you want to add with your web OPAC. So first of all, you should go to the Google custom search engine simply by through your Gmail ID. I have already entered in my Gmail ID. So that's why it is not showing that option to entering the Gmail ID. I have already created the Gmail ID and I have entered. So after entering with your Gmail ID, so this site will come. Here you can see that add option. So as whenever you are clicking the add, so it is wanting from you that the link of the site, that means the open resources site you can add here. So I'm just adding one site, that is the college textbook site, http collegeopentext.org. Copy. Yeah, then paste it. Okay, then you can put another nickname like that. So here site to search, I have put one site, then if I click, then another site, Suppose another site I am taking into consideration the second one. So you can put here again the second one. As soon as you put the second one, that there will be third option. So in this way, you can add lot of links. What links we are connecting? We are connecting the links which will provide you the open access materials. So as soon as you submitted all these things, you can put here just as nickname OA, then create. Then click on the create. As soon as you create, click on the create. It is creating a receipt code. Click on the receipt. You have seen here, you have successfully created your search engine. Then you click on the receipt code. As soon as you click on the receipt code, you have got a code here. So you have to copy this code and you have to paste in the web opac. You have to open your, suppose Koha software, there is one option is there linking the open sources with their web opac version. So as I'm not opening any Koha, so I'm not being able to show you that part. So just let me inform you that you have to just copy this code. You have to go to the integrated library software, that is Koha. Then open your web opac customized versions. Then you paste it in the certain portions. Then save. Then whenever you will search through your web opac, all these links will come, and click on that link and you will get the open resources. So what is happening here? You are just searching through your own web opac. So you don't have to bother whatever the resources, search, rigorous search your Google Scholar, etc., etc. You are getting through your own web opac. So this type of beneficiary advantage you are providing through a web opac, that time it should be content services you are providing. So these are the factors. So you see that a simple search interface for the library catalog will come, and the search box is created here through which you can search a selected set of resources available through Google custom search engine. So you have incorporated, first you have selected the links in Google custom search engine, you have got the code, and you have copy pasted that code with your web opac customized version. Then the last things the librarian should take very much into consideration, that whatever the procedure, that is the creating a single window with a lot of resources, open resources link, then the institutional repository, then making your web opac and the enhanced opac to provide the content services. But again, some confusion, some some information gap may be there. How to use all these things, how to make it implemented from your user's perspective. So you have to regularly arrange information literacy program to properly make known your user about all these procedures to access the open resources. So information literacy program you have to arrange in your library. And another thing is that constant confusion or judgmental confusion may arise among the faculty, students, or research scholars regarding the accessibility or the acceptance of the open access material. So you have to let them inform that how they will judge the authenticity, whether it is peer reviewed, whether it is qualified or not. So all these things we will discuss in details in information literacy programs. This will be very, very beneficial for them to access all the advantages of open access resources, obviously in this pandemic period. Then open access advocacy with students and others in the library can also be promoted through use of brochures, posters, and other visuals in the library. Students may respond to some of the Spark initiatives, such as activities for Open Access Week, and become engaged in new conversations. A targeted focus during this 1 week of worldwide advocacy may garner interest alongside a more diffuse discussion throughout the institution. So librarian promoting open advocacy may be doing the most work with the faculty and researchers, but need to remember that the students are the readers and information consumers of the future. So all kinds of discussions, programming should be channelized or should be formulated keeping into mind your innocent students. Whenever the students will access or they will know how to access all these beneficial aspects of the open access resources, then your purpose will be solved. Then you will be regarded as not only as the service provider, you should be regarded as the academic partner in terms of the scholarly communication and course curriculum based studies. So role of the library in this regard is very important, and that thing should be done very carefully with all kinds of information regarding the open access. So outside of marketing efforts involving the physical library building, the library website can feature any library efforts that focus on open access issues by promotion of initiatives in news items or short communications. If the library is to create a culture where the promotion of efforts to ensure that the maximum amount of scholarly information is available for all the readers, all librarians will have to incorporate the conversation into their reference and instruction work. Whenever anything, any kind of discussions regarding the library will occur among the librarians, among the peer reviewers or the stakeholders, the topic of open access resources should be discussed. At least it should be a part of their discussion to promote their use, to promote their generation, and to promote their accessibility and acceptance in the academic arena. And that thing is very much important in this pandemic period, you know. And own endeavor in from my own institutions, I have through my home, what I will do whenever the teachers are taking the online classes. So I thought I should do something for my students. So whatever the things I have mentioned, that's a little bit hi-fi concepts are there. Very a simple way how you can give some services to your students. I have created a group in the Facebook. There I have uploaded so many books from the month of the first week of April to the date. You can see here the lot of e-resources links I have mentioned, and I have used all those resources for my own library students, and I have named it VIC Library and Online 24/7 initiatives. There I have uploaded so many basically e-books, because I have noticed that in case of scholarly journal articles, faculty members are okay with the journal materials, but students, because journal materials are a little bit primary research articles are discussed here, but the books are very much popular with the students, so they are not getting the access of a physical library. So I have here basically 80% of my uploaded materials are the e-books. So e-books I have uploaded here according to the different subject contents, syllabuses of the CBCS syllabus, different disciplines, whatever the subjects we have in my college. So just in a quick glance, let me share you the group insights. The last 60 days I'm providing here the so far 226 members among the 262 members. 2 to 6 members are always active. They are getting or accessing all those things which I uploaded regularly in this portal, basically the e-books. You can see here that the last 60 days, whatever the uploads are here, 199 posts. Among them, suppose one day it may happen 3 or 5 books I have uploaded. So all total within this last 60 days, 342 uploads are there. Basically among them, the 90% have been the e-books. Then how the members are getting accessing that, and which date and which days the maximum uploads, etc., etc. So these are my simply my own creation and a small endeavor to help my students in terms of the requirement according to the disciplines. Next thing, I just very end of my presentation. So conclusion. So in conclusion, I want to focus only 2 things. Whatever the discussion I have done, so on the basis of that, I want to mention here that developing a comprehensive knowledge about open access. So librarian with his patrons or administration, he or she should build a sound policy, a comprehensive plan, which things he or she will include, whatever the things I have already mentioned about the open access mode, resources, sources, availability, how they will check the authenticity, peer review, etc., etc. Then last thing is that making the sources available through a single window. That means they can create a portal on their website, that institutional repository, etc. Then another thing I mentioned, that is the transformation of web OPAC to enhanced OPAC. So in this way, that sources should be available to our users, basically the students and the faculties and other academicians, through a single portal. So that thing, or that way, that it will be beneficial. So thank you. So now I
Thank
am
you, sir.
handing the session to the coordinator, madam.
Yeah, ma'am is there. Vandana ma'am, are you there? Ma'am, maybe not. No, she is there.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm here.
Yes, ma'am. If you have any question, ma'am.
I think there are no question.
No, there is no question from the students or from the participants. But if you want to ask any, sir, I have a question for you, sir.
Oh, yes,
Thank
sir.
you for your very in-depth presentation. It was like you were taking a class. I was just remembering my MLIS days where I used to there in your class. Anyways, I have a question. Is that while accessing those open access materials, or maybe downloading those open access materials, or maybe uploading those open access materials in a website or anywhere in the repository system, the copyright issue must be keep in mind.
That the copyright issues in this open access mode, I have repeatedly mentioned that whole copyright, there are several pros and cons under the copyright law. One thing you have to take into consideration, that is the Creative Commons license. This is a very flexible part of the copyright under this copyright law. This is a very flexible part. So if you open this website of the Creative Commons license, there you will get all those options, how you will download and how you will upload, so that you should not face any copyright infringement laws. So Creative Commons license should be taken into consideration. They will guide you and provide you all kinds of options, and it should be very much barrier free, whatever the things I have noticed or I have heard from my seniors. So this is a very flexible platform regarding the copyright laws. Creative Commons license.
Okay, sir. Thank you. There is a question. I'm giving it on the screen, sir.
Okay. One question I am observing, that is Ajay Kumar Prajapati. Please suggest open source, especially for computer science and IP. See, lot of computer science and other sources are available. I have mentioned one portal, that is the DOAS, directory of open access journals. Sir, please open these DOAS. Then you just click on the search option, that computer science. Then you will see the lot of list will come which journals which are providing you the full text articles of the open access. So please visit the DOAS. Okay, just simply click on the Google Doors, then you will get the link. You don't have to remember the link. Any questions, Sujan, from your part?
No, sir,
Or will
not yet, not yet.
okay.
So one thing, as you have mentioned already, that about the open access journals, that gold, green, and the and the those, I mean, for a very newcomer, or basically for the student fraternity, is there any best option they should choose? I mean, among the gold, green, or any other white, or whatever it is, a hybrid options, or option is also there. I mean, for the newcomer, what is the option they should
I
choose to start their, I mean, the journey for writing
Yes.
the journals?
Previously, yes, good question. Previously, in case of Sherpa Romeo database, just I also mentioned this is a very good database. But nowadays they have just omitted the color options, and
Okay.
but overall there are two concepts that there. I have already mentioned, that is the gold open access and green open access. For the student purpose, I should suggest that they should go for the first one, is that gold uh, open access, because the green open access basically provides you that option of archiving option. So there are lot of additional administrative aspects are there, but basically which are not very much impediment in your way, but a little bit maturity is required. So they should go for the gold open access format, the journals which are providing you the options of uh, for submitting their articles, and they will take
Okay.
care to publish in their open access mode. Now you can say me that, sir, how they can know that which journal is providing the gold open access mode? Again, if you go to the DOAS directory, if you search the journals, then whenever you will click the particular journal links, then all options are there which journals is providing whatever the options. Then whatever the options are there may be gold, there may be green. I should suggest that students should go for the gold open access, because they don't have to bother the additional administrative aspects. These things will be taken into consideration by the publisher. But if they go for the green open access for the archiving their own article in their own institution repositories, then extra some additional requirements are there, so they may be confused whenever there will be the PG students or the research faculties. That time they can consider for that. So but for the very beginning they can go for the gold open access journals.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. No more question. So now it is the time for vote of thanks. First of all, I would like to thanks Dr. Ashish Biswas sir for his very in-depth exposition of the subject. And I mean, this is very pertinent and important subject or important topic for all, for the student fraternity, and even for the professionals also, those who are already writing papers or journal articles for various journals and all. Therefore, thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your time. You have given time to us. I mean, it is very I mean, indeed a very good presentation for all of us. Thank you, sir. I would
Thank
like to
you
thanks.
from my part also.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to thanks our Chancellor, sir, our Vice Chancellor, sir, our Registrar, Madam of Brainware University, the entire library team of Brainware University. I mean, for without their support, it would have been not possible to organize these webinars. I would like to thank also our Principal, Madam of Dr. Sanghamitra Kundu of Brainware Group of Institutions, the entire library team of Brainware Group of Institutions, and above all the participants who are participating very actively here. I was just seeing the comments they're putting in the chat box. And thanks for Ajay for his question also. He's from Kendriya Vidyalaya. Anyways, thanks a lot. Uh, we are going to organize another webinar on maybe 20th of October, and the notification will be released very soon, so wait for that. We'll be hoping that this kind of participation will also be there on 20th of October. Thank you all. Thanks a lot. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.